JustinFREAKIN, the formidable voice of the culture.
Hey Justin, are you trolling?
Come on, man.
This is the Troll Patrol, live with JustinFREAKIN.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol live. It's a freaking Sunday. My apologies for not being on a few days last week. Turns out that we now have a rate limit to how often we can stream. So there's now a rate limit to streaming. We must abide by this rate limit. We exceeded our rate limit. It's 600 Piss and Dan Crenshaw's eyes a month. No more, no less. My apologies. Welcome, good evening. I'm not hiding up for this shit. Yes, we've still got the Pride decorations up. Sue me on that one. Pride is not just limited to 1 month a fucking year. We got Pride all goddamn year. Has nothing to do with a technical glitch I'm experiencing. And we'll break out the... I do this every year. Warlord, you've been with me many years now. I always let the pride seep into July. We'll get out the patriotism for the 4th of July coming up in 2 days. 2 days. I'll be here with you. I'm gonna stream on Tuesday night. I promise you. I made the promise that we were back to the regular schedule before last week. I did not keep that promise. Sorry. But now we're back to the regular schedule. I assure you. I'm 38 hours into Final Fantasy. I know Warlord said that he would take a Final Fantasy stream. I wish I could give that to you. I have never been able to make my capture card work with the PS5. Every time you've seen me game on stream, it has been with the PS4. I only get a black screen when I try to hook the PS5 up to it. And in case you were unaware, the newest installment of the Final Fantasy series is a PS5 exclusive. I could just point my camera at the TV. It's a gigantic ass TV. You guys have all seen it. It's been my backdrop many a time, so. You're the only one in here, Warlord. What the fuck's going on? Where's Porg? Where's Simp? I get out of habit. I lose everybody. Where's Flash? Where's Danielle? We've got so many people, so many beautiful faces. I said everyone. I posted it on the Facebook. It's very true. But also, people could have it is 4th of July weekend. It's a holiday weekend, so maybe there are people out there that don't want to find out what that news be doing. Been rate limited indeed. Ah ha ha ha. Since it is 4th of July weekend, let me hit you with a 4th of July meme. Me puts a whole pig in a smoker because it's the 4th of July. The rest of the police department reacts with that face. I think I might have lied in the title for the episode. I don't think we have Hunter. Apparently Hunter Biden took a video, but we only have photographs. How can I invite a British person to the America celebration? Fucking invite a redcoat? Are you serious? What the fuck have you been smoking? DJ Dub! D! DJ Dub D is here. Good evening, my friend. So glad to see you. We're going to talk about protests in France. France, they know how to do it, man. Just one person shot by the cops. They tearing the whole fucking country down. I love it. We've got some video from last night's protest that we're going to partake upon. I'm sure we're going to enjoy that. Just another day. Which mass shooting am I even talking about? Am I talking about Baltimore? Am I talking about Wichita? Yes. A mother and a toddler actually were able to escape out a window during an armed standoff. Going to hear their story. I believe this next one happened in Texas. If it didn't happen in Texas, it happened in Florida. It's out of Houston. It happened in Texas. A pregnant woman was apparently going to be robbed, but it was Texas, so she was armed, and that robber dead now. And I believe we have video of the attempted mugging. From Texas to Florida, there was the trial of the cop in the Parkland shooting from 2018, 2017? This asshole motherfucker didn't go into the school after the mass shooting started. I believe this was it was what's his name? I'm seeing his face in front of my Cruz, Nicholas Cruz. This was the Nicholas Cruz shooting. The deputy found not guilty on multiple counts. We're going to go over the verdict and how big of a disgrace it is. I believe we even have reactions from family, and the cop himself had a celebratory press conference. Several, before we get to that, a judge has ruled that sex at a high school didn't violate a family's rights. A Utah judge has said that sex at a high school didn't violate a family's rights. That's all I know of the story. I just know that headline. Sex at a high school. I do not know if it was sex between two high schoolers or if it was somebody, maybe an exhibitionist, maybe somebody with an OnlyFans account. The judges ruled that act of sex did not violate a family's religious freedom. I do not know what the family had to do with it. This is a juicy story that I am very much interested into diving into the details of.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Hell yeah. Now that DJ Dub is here, we can start the show. I can start to get a little high. We didn't stream a couple days last week because we reached our rate limit. Our June rate limit for streams. I smell coconut. Is that one of, like, you smell certain things before you have a stroke? Do you smell coconut before you have a stroke? There have been people. I'm very paranoid right now. There have been people driving by and, like, slowing down. One time I was jacking off and they, like, just stop and creep by the window, and I'm like, what are you doing? With my dick in my hand. What are you doing?
You live in sexual anarchy?
Chainsaw. I hope your conversation with Demon Mama went smoothly. Fantastic. Was a huge success. I have it on my to watch list. I've not got a chance to watch it yet. but I retweeted you. I tried to go give you some likes and give you a boost, token it up, but people just been driving by my window, fucking slowing down. I don't know when like a drive-by gonna happen. Some right-wing nut job poop boy come back to haunt me. Dick windows. I mean, like, if you're gonna see me jacking off, you gotta, like, actually walk up to the window and fucking, like, look in and shit. I went out and inspected, like, where you have to be in order to see anything. Because, like, I very often, like, I've not told you guys this. Very often I'm sitting here and I am taking bong rips with a cop car parked 500 feet from me, pointed right at me. I am usually looking at a cop car across the road right there. It's quite exhilarating. One day I looked over and he was actually sitting in the cop car. I was like, oh, I'll put this down for just a little bit. Politically, good evening. You got here just in time. I've just been running down the shit that we're going to be talking about. I'm really interested to find out what sex at a Utah high school didn't violate a family's constitutional rights. I don't think sex should ever violate anyone's constitutional rights. I guess you could present me with a situation where somebody else having sex violates my constitutional right. I don't know. I'm open to the possibility that it could happen, but I'm skeptical. I'm really skeptical. The Supreme Court of the United States been at it again, almost a year to the day of the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Multiple shitty-ass rulings. We're going to talk about the ruling against the serving of LGBTQ community. On the fucking last day of Pride, they fucking issued this ruling too. What scumbags. We're going to talk about the affirmative action ruling. The web designer. The ruling was against serving a gay couple. Apparently, the web designer that was the plaintiff in the case never even received a request from a gay couple to do any kind of work on a gay wedding. He's just full of shit. Is a right-wing astroturfed bullshit fucking cause. I hate this country. Since we are still getting gay, it's not Pride Month's not over. We still got the Pride decorations over. We're gonna get gay with the gayest of the Biden administration officials. Pete Buttigieg was on the CNN this morning. He's going to tell us about his thoughts on the Supreme Court rulings, and he's going to detail the apparently blatantly homophobic video that Ron DeSantis shared out. Speaking of homophobic, Trump spoke at the Moms for Liberty event. He was protested outside of it, accused Biden of corruption in multiple events over the weekend. I thought we had video. I think I lied in the title of the show. We don't apparently have video, but Hunter Biden filmed himself smoking crack behind the wheel of a car going 172 miles an hour on his way to Las Vegas, which, once again, they make him sound so fucking badass. He sounds cool as fuck, right? Okay, not in my opinion, because I got a real problem with, I drive high. Everybody will bring that up and throw it in my face, but, like, I have a real thing against driving intoxicated. Driving high is different if you're used to it, if you're like me. and you do fucking everything high, you probably should. It's called state-dependent learning. There's actually a name for it. If you do something like drive and you do it high most of the time, when you do it, you are actually better at doing it when you're high. Ipso facto, motherfucker. I know what I'm talking about. I found this out in some sort of class I was mandated to take after a DUI. This was back in, I haven't had a DUI since I was like 9 fucking teen. Okay, so get up off me. I'm almost 40 now. Only been to jail that one time in the last 20 years. And that's... I had a friend who was very intoxicated. We had been doing stand-up comedy. She was driving me back to my apartment. I did not feel that she was in any state to drive, but my license was suspended because of unpaid insurance. I get caught in a speed trap. I didn't think she was in any position to drive because she had been drinking. She had chugged a bottle of codeine cough syrup, and like we had smoked so much that like I had been like, I'm done. And she kept going. Like she's wild. Girl of my dreams, I swear. She's a stand-up comedian. When I met her, the first bit I heard her tell was something about her being in a Dairy Queen bathroom, sucking off 2 guys with cum and shit all over the walls. And I'm like, that's my people right there. Like, hey, I like you. We're friends. And apparently she fucked me because she thought I looked like Base Nectar. I don't see it, but okay. She did a lot of Xanaxes, so. maybe if you're like really, you're barely holding your eyes open, you are squinting at me when I had the long hair. Okay, maybe I looked a little like Base Nectar. You guys come to me for news. No, I guess I somehow trailed off on that story because of the Hunter Biden being on crack. I don't know who this Patrick Bet David is. Like he just so I'd never heard of him until Sam Cedar went on, and then Sam talked about it on the Majority Report. All of a sudden, he's all up in my feed. I'm getting ads for him and shit, and I don't like it. I don't like it because I watched Neil deGrasse Tyson with him. And Neil deGrasse Tyson is calmly explaining vaccines and shit to him. And he's a dumb fuck. And he's like, what have you seen died suddenly? And I'm like, I want to fucking... shit. I gotta watch my ass. I can't get suspended. I want to do something. Kind of like how Musk and Zuck want to do something. They want to get it on. Tim Pool is going to talk to us about the possible Musk-Zuck fight. Speaking of Tim Pool, if you saw Emma on Tim Pool like a couple of weeks ago now, you'll know that she handed him his ass. Tim did not look good, and Tim has not taken it very well. I got a sponsored ad from Tim bitching about fucking Emma. We're gonna watch that. It's a little 4-minute piece. Should be fun. Roseanne was on with Steven Crowder. That should be fucking hilarious. And not in the way, not as in a laughing with Roseanne kind of way, a laughing at Roseanne kind of way. And then Sheryl Crow was at Bonnaroo. It's really cute, and you guys are going to want to see it. All that and more tonight on the Troll Patrol live. Welcome. Good evening. If I missed anybody snuck in here, Libertad. Tones, good evening. So glad to see you guys. Welcome. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna find out what that news be doing. Good shit. I can't believe it takes me 20 minutes to get through like the opening of the show. I'm bad at this. I'm not a professional at all. 20 minutes to get to what that news be doing. Jesus fucking Christ. France. Their police force killed a 17-year-old. And the people of France, they don't like it. This is footage. I probably should have, there's like a strobe light in the background. This is protesters clashing with Paris police setting off fireworks. They're celebrating the American 4th of July already. Coming in a little early and a little hot. God bless America. Oh yeah, I probably should have hit the content warning. Some people might be triggered. There are scenes of violence, but I figured most of the people in my chat are going to be like pretty overwhelmingly ecstatic. Maybe you're a pyromaniac and you're like, fire, fire! Like I should have warned you. And again, it's the Troll Patrol. You kind of know what you're getting into. So the murder took place 5 days ago now. We're seeing footage from a couple of nights ago. This was January. This is from June 30th. Fabian! Bulls on parade! I was cleaning the kitchen and that came on the other day. He has an amazing mullet. More than 700 people were arrested during the riots. They targeted the mayor's home. It was the 5th night of unrest. It was sparked by a police killing of a teenager, but overall violence appeared to lessen compared to previous nights. The Interior Ministry said early Sunday that 719 people were arrested, 45 police and other Gendarmes were injured, 577 vehicles, 74 buildings were set on fire, 871 fires were recorded on public roads. The crisis posed a new challenge to President Emmanuel Macron's leadership and exposed deep-seated discontent in low-income neighborhoods over discrimination and the lack of opportunity. The 17-year-old whose death on Tuesday spawned the anger was laid to rest on Saturday in a Muslim ceremony in Nanterre, a Paris suburb where emotions over his loss remain raw. He has been identified publicly only by his first name, Nahil. As night fell on Saturday over the French capital, a small crowd gathered on the Champs-Élysées to protest his death and police violence, but met hundreds of officers with batons and shields guarding the avenue and its boutiques. In a less chic neighborhood of northern Paris, protesters set off firecrackers and lit barricades on fire as police shot back with tear gas and stun grenades. A burning car hit the home of the mayor of Paris, the suburb of La Halle-les-Roses. Several schools, police stations, town halls, and stores have been targeted by fires or vandalism in recent days, but such a personal attack on the mayor's home is unusual. So, hell yeah, we support you, brothers and sisters and non-binary folk. Testing over there in Parlez-vous français? Meanwhile, the United States also seeing a rash of violence, but against its own people, not against, a common cause. Where's the, I gotta say it, don't I? It's just another day. First, we go to Baltimore.
Back to Live Now from Fox. I do want to get back to some of that breaking news we are following. Around 30 people shot in Baltimore, Maryland. Let's get into what we know at this time. Like I said, this happened in Baltimore, Maryland. This occurred early this morning and left dozens of people wounded and multiple fatalities reported. The incident happened during a gathering in the Brooklyn Homes section of South Baltimore. That's according to police.
Apparently it was a block party.
Medical personnel responded to the scene of the 800 block of Gretna Avenue around 12:30 this morning. And that's according to Acting Baltimore Police Commissioner Rich Worley. He said this in a news conference. He went on to add that 30 people were shot, including 3 victims who are in critical condition, and 2 were left dead. Now a suspect who has not been taken into custody opened fire during a block party. That's according to police. Some victims were transported to the hospital by emergency personnel there, while others self-transported to the hospital. Witnesses told Fox 45 Baltimore they heard around 20 to 30 shots fired. One witness said they just kept going off. Now this incident remains under investigation and police are looking for any information that can be provided. This is, of course, a developing story. We'll keep you updated as we do learn more information, but we did get an update from officials there on the ground. Here are the latest updates.
Good morning. Just after 12:30 a.m.
Morning.
Officers received numerous calls for a shooting at 800 Gretna Court. Upon officers' arrival, we located multiple victims suffering from gunshot wounds. We located one female adult deceased on the scene. 9 additional victims were transported from the location to area hospitals. Additionally, we had 20 other victims walk into hospitals throughout the region. Our detectives are currently working an extensive crime scene. The 2 deceased victims we have are both adults. We have 3 other victims who are in critical condition. Our hearts and prayers are going out to the families, sending out to the families and friends of these victims, as well as the community and our entire city. This is an extensive crime scene. Our detectives are going to be here quite a while. If anyone saw anything or knows anything, please call 911 or call local Metro Crime Stoppers, 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. We have members of our fire department, Officer Emergency Management, as well as other jurisdictions working with us to try to determine a motive. Again, please call 1-866-7-LOCK-UP, and at this time I'll turn it over to Mayor Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. This morning, all of Baltimore is grieving the lives that we lost here, and our hearts are with all those who are still recovering at the result of this mass shooting. As you heard, this investigation is ongoing, and our homicide detectives will continue to work until they find out what happened here. But what we do know this morning, and this was the reckless, cowardly act that happened here, and that has permanently altered many lives and cost two people their lives. And I want those who are responsible to hear me very clearly. We will not stop until we find you.
What are we up to now? Like 400 mass shootings?
I hope with every single breath that you take, that you think about the lives that you took, and you think about the lives that you impacted here tonight. We're also asking that anyone that knows anything about what happened here, anything about this mass shooting, to come forward with any piece of information. Treat this as if it were your family, and how you would want people to treat it if you were mourning, if this was your neighborhood, if this was an event in your community that this happened at. We want you to treat it that way, because that's how we have to treat each other as Baltimoreans. We are mobilizing every resource in my power to embrace this community and support this community through this unspeakable tragedy. Monsi will be conducting a coordinated neighborhood response, and every single city agency will be in Brooklyn to support.
396
this morning. I want to again express that this is an absolute tragedy that did not have to happen. It again highlights the
396
overproliferation of illegal guns on our streets.
We are just now halfway through this year.
Them to get their hands on them, and also the need for accountability on each and every level when you're dealing with guns and gun violence. And again, we will not stop until we find those cowards who decided to just shoot.
The site has one of those trackers. How many days since the last mass shooting? 0, 0, 0, 0. Clinically pulled up 330. It always comes down to whether you count 3 or more or 2 or more deaths. This one, or 3 or more, 4 more injured. So probably this side's being a little more liberal. It has 390. They're probably counting 3 or more. They define mass shooting as a single outburst of violence in which 4 or more people are shot. Not the same as mass murder defined by the FBI. So this is 4 or more. Insane. Fucking insane. And that's not the only one I'm here to tell you about here tonight. The 2 people dead in Baltimore. Apparently no one died in Wichita, Kansas.
Shooting overnight at a nightclub in Wichita, Kansas. That left 7 people injured and 2 others trampled. The victims range from 21 to 34 years old. No one has died, according to local police. They say they have 1 person in custody with an investigation underway. Police did add that the shooting marks one of nearly a dozen incidents associated with this nightclub in the past year. Local officials now say they could suspend or revoke its liquor license as part of a security crackdown.
Well, dang city nights. DJ Dub, hey, while we're on the subject, I will say, I watched a cop do his job the other day. If you have not seen the body cam footage of the cop in the H&M shooting from a couple of weeks ago, you guys want to watch that? I guess we can. I mean, I watched it on YouTube. The Allen shooting. This is the one, like, if you guys saw the fucking horrific video of the bodies piled up, just goddamn. It's senseless. This is the body camera of the cop that actually took out the shooter. And, officer, you did a good job. Excellent job. I don't say that often, but this cop did what he is supposed to do. I would hope the fucking use of force was justified. Damn right, content warning. Another content warning.
Hey, make sure y'all be good, okay? And make sure you wear your seatbelts when mommy's driving, okay? You understand? Okay? Okay? All right. All right, you be good.
Escuchaste. And say always the
seatbelt.
Wow.
145. I think we got shots fired at the outlet mall.
Shots fired at the outlet.
I got people running.
Precinct 137.
Get going! Get going! Get moving!
420 on the ground. In and out.
They're moving farther away from me.
I mean, he grabbed a gun and he went running. Went running towards the shots.
Get out of here!
It's fucking chilling hearing the gunshots.
Trying to get to them. They're still shooting. I'm on foot. I need everybody I got. What? Yes. What you got? Are we a mass shooter? Yeah, we got people coming. .145, I believe we got a mass shooter. I got a magazine on the ground. Drop it! Drop it! I'm passing injured. I'm moving as fast as I can, trying to get over there.
Goes right towards it.
I'm by Tommy Hilfiger. I don't know where he's at. Shot to spot. Alright, actually still going.
Well, this is traffic dispatch.
He just downed him.
Shots fired by police. I got him down. Drop the gun!
And there's like fucking air supply or something playing over the speakers.
Hey, get off the air. I'm over here by the lids. I got him down.
Fantastic job, officer. Holy shit. He shot him like 100 feet. I think he's walking up on the body now.
Who's this behind me? Watch your fire. Watch your fire. I got him down. I think so. I'm not hearing any gunshots. Is he down? God damn, bro.
That's a hero. I do not say that often about cops.
Now stay your down. Stay your down. You got him?
God damn. So that was released 4 or 5 days ago. That transitions well into the opposite side of the coin. A cop who was not a hero. Was not a hero. Hey, fuck you, Daily Mail. The coward. This never happened to me before. Apparently YouTube is cracking down on ad. YouTube can kiss my ass. You want a link to that video? Had to pull that up. Hold on 1 second. Boom. The coward Parkland deputy who hid from a school shooter was found not guilty of all charges on Thursday, including 7 counts of child neglect. He said, "I feel like I got my life back," according to Scott Peterson. What a wild name. This was Peterson's face after the verdict was read on Thursday. Fuck this dude. Stood by and did nothing as a lone gunman shot up Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in 2018. At one point during Peterson's impromptu celebratory press conference, his lawyer, strangely weepy and showboaty, his supporters broke out in cheers. The father of one victim, attempting to speak to the media down the hall, was drowned out.
Oh, hi.
So this is Peterson after the verdict on Thursday. Gigantic piece of fucking shit.
Scott, talk to us about how emotional this is for you. What's going through your mind right now in your heart?
Got my life back. We've got our life back after 4.5 years.
Almost 30 students don't have their lives because of your inaction that day.
Put the truth out of what happened. It's been an emotional roller coaster for so long. Endless nights. You know, talking to Mark 1 in the morning, you know, trying to understand and learn this whole case. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. But don't anybody ever forget this was a massacre on February 14th. The only person to blame was that monster. It wasn't any law enforcement. Nobody on that scene, from BSO, Coral Springs, everybody did the best they could. We did the best we could with the
I don't think you did, you piece of shit.
What do you say to the family, Scott? I know it's emotional for them today, too. But this obviously isn't the outcome they wanted. Do you have any response to...
You know what I tell the families? I would love to talk to them. I have no problem calling Mark, saying, hey, we want to talk, we'd like to know everything. I'm there. I would have been there from day one. We've mourned with them for 4.5 years. You know, I've seen some of these family members, and I'd love to went over to them and hugged them and said, God, I'm sorry. But, you know,
you are indeed sorry.
Not what they're feeling at this point. Maybe now, maybe they'll get a little understanding, but I'll be there for them. I'll be there for them. How could I not? What about...
We are disgusting. I like how they throw up a picture of Uvalde. Cause yeah. So yeah, this is the video of him. Running around outside the school in a golf cart.
17 Juliet 3, 17 Bravo 3, 17 Bravo 4.
17 Juliet 3, we have possible, could be firecrackers. I think we got shots fired. Possible shots fired. 1200 building.
Attention all units in District 15, possible shots fired at 590.
I don't know what the jury was thinking.
Possible shots fired at Stoneman Douglas High.
Maybe they felt that...
1584 out.
There wasn't enough evidence to convict him.
We get some units over here. I need to shut down Stoneman Douglas. The intersection.
There he is, just standing out fucking side while students die.
5901.
He's guys. I didn't know it until we're watching it with this diagram. He's right outside the door of the hallway where Cruz is at. That's the door he's standing outside of right there. You piece of shit. How? How do you not step inside that fucking door and engage him?
Any descriptions? I'm coming up from West Lake Middle. We don't have any descriptions yet. We just hear...
Like, even if you didn't take him out. Distracting him. Turning his attention to you. Oh my God. I don't know how a jury can't convict him. But I don't know how the law is written. Fucking coward. I'm glad I can contrast. I get to praise a cop for being a hero, and then I get to show you a cop being an absolute coward. I have no clue where this happened. Hold on. Let me figure this out. Lakeland, Florida, I believe. Lakeland, Florida. This sounds like a Florida kind of story.
A man is behind bars after shooting another man and barricading himself inside an apartment. It all started yesterday morning in the parking lot of an apartment along the 2400 block of Chestnut Woods Drive in Lakeland. Police there say Miguel Borges got into an argument with the victim and shot him. Despite his injury, that man was able to wrestle the gun away from Borges. That's when the suspect ran into an apartment with a woman and 3-year-old child inside and refused to come out. The woman and child barricaded themselves in a bedroom and eventually escaped through a window. After more than 2 hours of negotiations, Borges surrendered peacefully. The man he shot will recover, and Borges now faces several charges.
Well, I guess that had a happy ending. Doesn't seem like anybody was hurt too bad. The man he shot is going to recover. The woman and the child was able to barricade themselves and then flee out a window. Negotiated for 2 hours. From Florida to Texas. I gotta hit the content warning for this one. This is video of a pregnant woman at a Houston gas station. See the raw footage. Coming up in the left of your screen. He had a gun, but he got. Holy shit. Whoa, everybody armed in this situation. Yeah, this is fucking Texas. Jesus. Wow. Everyone had a gun.
We have an update on a story that we first brought to you last night at 10. A woman 9 months pregnant and her husband shot an armed stranger who was attacking them in North Houston, a convenience store parking lot last night.
The entire incident was caught on camera. ABC 13's Shannon Ryan joins us live from the store on Fulton near Berry Road. Shannon, what's the latest there?
Well, this really
probably should, Tones.
Incident. That woman who's due in about 2 weeks says she was here in the store's parking lot when 2 armed strangers approached her. She says they were trying to pick a fight. You might call it a mother's instinct.
No, they were not taking on my baby daddy before July 11th.
This woman, who is 9 months pregnant, and her husband asked we conceal their identities, fearing retaliation.
No, it's scary.
After they shot a man seen attacking them in this surveillance video in the parking lot of the All Seasons food store off Fulton Tuesday night.
Thank God. I've never been happy.
He was definitely the aggressor.
Still, she says guns were what first tipped her off to trouble. She noticed 2 men had them in the store's parking lot when she tried to drop off food for her husband, who works inside.
The guy in the passenger seat of the silver car got out with an AR, and told me that I startled him.
When her husband came outside, that man with a rifle got into this green Dodge Charger, eventually driving off. But the silver SUV's driver, also armed, continued threatening the couple.
So there were more people with more guns than what we even knew about from originally watching the video. Holy shit, when everybody else was fucking goddamn.
Couple.
3 times he repeated that.
Yeah.
You want to die tonight. Do you want to die tonight? You think this is a game? You think this is to play with? And that's when he pistol with me right there.
Both husband and wife opened fire on the man, since identified by Houston police as Mario Duque, a convicted felon who isn't allowed to have guns. The couple held him at gunpoint as he begged for his own life until help arrived.
The bystander told him, hey man, if you think you're dying, you might as well
pray to God.
Pray to God for forgiveness.
Duque is still in the hospital this evening. He's facing aggravated assault and weapons charges. Live in North Houston, Shannon Ryan, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
I like how they're just so nonchalant about it. Like, If you think you're dying, you better start praying. Oh. Oh, God. All right, all I know with this story is the headline. I know that sex at a high school did not violate a family's religious freedom. So you got to wonder what kind of sexual
You
anarchy
live in sexual anarchy?
these people be getting into. A Utah federal judge rules sex at high school didn't violate a family's religious freedom. Do not know the specifics of the case. Let's find out together. A federal judge ruled that a Utah county high school did not violate a family's religious freedom by relaxing attendance rules during the last week of school. What? The student's parents say their son used his free time to have sex with his girlfriend in the school's parking lot.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Against the family's religious beliefs. And they sued the school because their teenager fucked around. Fuck these people. I hope that before he fucked around with her, though, he washed his ass.
Life is too short to walk this earth for a crusty asshole. Wash your ass.
If the family had prevailed in its religious freedom claim, the case could have opened the doors to a reinterpretation of the First Amendment, one that obligates government entities to actively aid the practice of religion. U.S. District Judge Jill Parrish ruled last week that the school did not compel the student to break the rules of his family's Latter-day Saints faith during an informal hooky week at Sky Ridge High School in May of 2022. Parrish sent the case back to a state court to determine whether the family could sue the school for negligence. A lawsuit filed in August claimed the parents were closely monitoring their son to stop him from having premarital sex when the school relaxed its attendance rules for the last week of classes and he had sex in the parking lot. The mother alleged school employees did not know her son's whereabouts when she tried to check him out of classes and she saw students engaging in displays of affections in the halls. The lawsuit alleged other students were also having sex in the parking lot. Neither the family's attorney nor the Alpine School District returned Axios' calls for comment. This is the same high school where LGBTQ+ students and allies alleged they were mocked, followed, and threatened with knives in March for wearing rainbows to protest the Alpine School District's ban on pride flags. The lawsuit claimed the school undermined and deprived. So they're getting it from both ends. The religious nuts are suing them and the fucking left is suing them. So, wow. I mean, you can't ban fucking pride. That is a violation of the First Amendment. Some kid breaking his chastity rules. That's not fucking a violation of the First Amendment, though. Speaking of court rulings, we had a couple of huge rulings come out of the Supreme Court at the end of last week. I'm not high enough for this shit.
The other major decision from the Supreme Court, a case involving LGBTQ rights, but the implications could be much broader than that. The justices ruling by a 6-3 margin that a Christian web designer who opposes same-sex marriage can refuse to create a wedding website for same-sex couples because it would violate her free speech. ABC's Devin Dwyer is at the court.
Why do they all look alike? That looked like Ronald McDaniel.
Hey, good morning, Ariel. That decision, a big disappointment to the LGBTQ community coming in the last day of Pride Month. But its impact, as you say, will be much more far-reaching. The court's conservative majority essentially carved out an exception to anti-discrimination laws, saying businesses that sell customized products that express a message, like a website or piece of art, can refuse any customer whose message they oppose. Justice Neil Gorsuch cast this decision as a defense of free speech, but Justice Sonia Sotomayor...
You can refuse any customer.
Open the door
you can't refuse them because they're gay.
Interracial couples, disabled people, members of different faiths. Legal experts on both sides of this case tell me they believe the decision will have a limited practical impact, at least for now, because few businesses actually engage in selling customized artworks. But
I just don't even understand, like, and we're going to get into this. I got a little caveat for this story here, but like as a contractor, I decide what I do and what I don't do. I decided I wasn't going to do that UFC channel anymore because they asked me for too many revisions. He said there was silence at times in your voiceover, and I'm like, do what? I don't know what that means. So I ditched that job. That's my right as a contractor. I decide who I contract with and who I don't. So I don't get it. There was no reason for this person to bring the suit, as we will see here in a second.
Ariel, make no mistake, this case is being seen as an invitation for more businesses to test the boundaries of anti-discrimination law.
Widespread implications there, Devin, and that landmark decision striking down affirmative action as we know it is already having a major impact as well.
That's right. Schools across the country ahead of the fall college application season are scrambling now to adjust their policies to comply with the decision. I've spoken with a number of university presidents on this. We'll likely see no more check boxes for race on those application forms, or at least no more plus points for race when it comes to the decision making. And some schools are looking at other ways to level the playing field, possibly even ending early decision programs or
do by income
legacy admissions. Will?
Yes,
Devin
do
Dwyer
that.
has historic rulings at the Supreme Court.
Yes, end legacy admissions. And if you're going to try to be equitable and do it in a progressive way, do it by income. You'll automatically lift up the marginalized communities. Do it by income. That way it is definitely not discriminatory. Under this new interpretation of the law, thanks to the Supreme Court. Man, here's the thing is the web designer who said that she wouldn't do work for a gay wedding, cited a client who denies making a wedding website request. It never happened. There was no standing. A Colorado web designer who the U.S. Supreme Court ruled Friday could refuse to make wedding websites for gay couples cited a request from a man who says he never asked to work with her. The request in dispute from a person identified as Stewart wasn't the basis for the federal lawsuit filed preemptively 7 years ago by the web designer Lori Smith before she started making wedding websites. But as the case advanced, it was referred by her client or by her attorneys when lawyers for the state of Colorado pressed Smith on whether she had sufficient grounds to sue. The revelation distracts from Smith's victory at a time when she might have been basking in her win, which is widely considered a setback for gay rights. Smith named Stewart and included a website service request from him, listing his phone number and email address in 2017 court documents. But Stewart told the Associated Press he never submitted the request and didn't know his name was invoked in the lawsuit until he was contacted this week by a reporter from the New Republic. I was incredibly surprised given the fact that I've been happily married to a woman for the last 15 years, said Stewart, who declined to give his last name for fear of harassment and threats. His contact information, but not his last name, were listed in court documents. He added that he was a designer and could design my own website if I needed to. and was concerned no one had checked into the validity of the request cited by Smith until recently. Smith's lawyer, Kristen Wagner, said, and I do believe this woman is a far-right fucking nut job activist, said at a Friday news conference that the wedding request naming Stewart was submitted through Smith's website and denied it was fabricated. She suggested it could have been a troll making the request, something that's happened with other clients she has represented. In 2018, it was just a troll. In 2018, her client, Colorado baker Jack Phillips, won a partial U.S. Supreme Court victory after refusing to make a gay couple's wedding cake, citing his Christian faith. It's undisputed that the request was received, Wagner said. Whether that was a troll and not a genuine request, or it was someone who was looking for that, is really irrelevant to the case. Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser on Friday called the lawsuit a made-up case because Smith wasn't offering wedding website services when the suit was filed. Weiser didn't know the specifics of Stewart's denial, but said the nation's high court should not have addressed the lawsuit's merits without any basis in reality. But that's what happens. We've got a far-right Supreme Court that's bought and paid for, and apparently there are accusations coming out about John Roberts being on the take on cases that he should have recused himself on. We have an illegitimate Supreme Court. We're gonna have to do something about it. Sorry. Clinically says the wall. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. I kind of doubt that liberal-ass Pete Buttigieg has that idea, though. Let's hear what he has to say on CNN Sunday Show.
Several new Supreme Court decisions will have far-reaching impacts on people in the United States, including a ruling that limits protections for LGBTQ Americans on free speech grounds. Here with me now is
bring out the gay guy,
Pete Buttigieg. Mr. Secretary, thank you so much for joining me this morning. The Supreme Court ruled, as you know, that a Christian web designer is not required to make websites celebrating same-sex weddings due to her religious objections. Justice Neil Gorsuch.
I don't even understand where that's at in the Bible.
Other way than, quote, governments could force an unwilling Muslim movie director to make a film with a Zionist message. They could compel an atheist muralist to accept a commission celebrating evangelical zeal. And they could require a gay website designer to create websites for a group advocating against same-sex marriage. Is there any merit to that argument?
No, there isn't. And I think it's very revealing that there's no evidence that this web designer was ever even approached by anyone asking for a website for a same-sex wedding. Matter of fact, it appears this web designer only went into the wedding business for the purpose of provoking a case like this. And in that sense, I think there's something in common between this Supreme Court ruling and what we're seeing happening in state legislatures across the country, which is kind of a solution looking for a problem. In other words, sending these kinds of things to the courts and sending these kinds of things to state legislatures for the clear purpose of chipping away at the equality and the rights that have so recently been won in the LGBTQ plus community. And when they're doing that, it's at the expense of so many other issues that Americans are asking for relief and support on, the kinds of economic issues that President Biden was emphasizing in his Bidenomics address about how we keep unemployment so low, how we continue lowering costs for American families. The fact that this was relief from a situation that may have never happened in the first place tells you everything you need to know about this agenda to use every instrument of government, courts and legislatures, to claw back at these rights for people who are just trying to go about their lives and just trying to be treated equally by businesses and by the government.
Mr. Secretary, Ron DeSantis' campaign tweeted a video attacking President Trump for his past support for LGBTQ Americans, touted DeSantis' own record of restricting their rights. I want you to look and listen to just
Trump too gay for them, apparently.
I cannot think of anything more horrifying. It really has shut down drag.
Just produced some of the harshest, most draconian laws that literally threaten trans existence.
Wait,
what's your reaction?
What? We gotta watch this whole thing now. Like this, I was just like, oh, we'll watch the CNN. What in the fuck was that? Anti-Trump video is homophobic. Was it an anti-Trump video?
I will do. I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens.
If Caitlyn Jenner were to walk into Trump Tower and want to use the bathroom, you would be fine with her using any bathroom she chooses.
That is correct.
In the future, can transgender women compete in Miss Universe?
Yes.
Make America great again.
I cannot think of anything more horrifying. It really has shut down drag.
Just produced some of the harshest, most draconian laws that literally threaten trans existence.
Congratulations, Ron DeSantis. Mission accomplished. You win.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. This is a DeSantis ad, apparently. It was cringe as fuck.
I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens.
If Caitlyn Jenner were
Or maybe it's not the campaign directly.
you would be fine
One of their
any bathroom she chooses.
That is correct.
In the future, can transgender women compete in Miss Universe?
Yes.
viral teams or some shit. It's definitely meant for the internet audience, right? Because it's got the Giga Chad in the background and something.
I cannot think of anything more horrifying. It really has shut down drag.
Just produced some of the harshest, most draconian laws that literally...
It's you know, it's making the Humanist Report and TYT, it's making them triggered and shit. All the stuff that DeSantis is doing is the point of the ad. Wow. Oh yeah, we were watching Mayo Pete. Let's get his reaction to the ad we just watched. I mean, I keep calling it an ad. It's a viral video.
You know, I'm going to choose my words carefully, partly because I'm appearing as secretary, so I can't talk about campaigns. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to leave aside the strangeness of trying to prove your manhood by putting up a video that splices images of you in between oiled up shirtless bodybuilders, and just get to the bigger issue that
Giga Chad
is on my mind whenever I see this stuff in the policy space, which is, again, who are you trying to help? Who are you trying to make better off? And what public policy problems do you get up in the morning thinking about how to solve? You know, we're focused as an administration.
I can answer that for you. It's the ghouls at McKinley. Is that the name of the firm that you used to work for? That video was a little gay. But that's who you get up and think about the policy goals of. Your fucking venture capitalist buddies.
on how to get things done to make people better off. I spent my week traveling around the country to places that are benefiting from infrastructure funding. We were in Appalachia and an eastern Kentucky community that's been wiped out by floods repeatedly, and we're bringing them highway funding that's going to...
That's where I'm from.
...improve the road, but also improve the dam and protect them from floods in the future. A few weeks ago, we were in North Dakota, where there's a railroad crossing that was a community headache for...
I can show you where there's a train in Yellowstone, motherfucker.
We finally have the resources to...
You can do something about that.
Make that better and have it not be a problem holding back first responders. These are the kinds of problems that most of us got into government, politics, and public service in order to work on. And I just don't understand the mentality of somebody who gets up in the morning thinking that he's going to prove his worth by competing over who can make life hardest for a hard-hit.
I can explain it really easy, Pete.
You mentioned that you have been traveling around talking about and helping to unveil projects that are coming up because of President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law. This week, we saw a poll that showed that 34% of Americans, that's it, just 34% of Americans approve of his handling of the economy. 7 in 10 say economic conditions are poor. Why is it that so many Americans don't seem to be feeling the benefit from Biden's economic policies that you're talking about?
Well, look, we're seeing extraordinarily low unemployment, some of the most job creation under any president ever. We're seeing, by the way, with that also unusually high rates of job satisfaction. We've seen inflation falling. We've seen manufacturing returning to the U.S. Now, obviously, a lot of effort and a lot of money goes into negativity to try to get people focusing on other things, like some of the things that we're talking about in the culture wars that certain figures are bringing to the fore again and again. I think because they don't want to talk about the economic work that they're doing. And they certainly don't want to talk, if we're talking about House and Senate Republicans, why they voted no on the infrastructure package, the majority of them, although we appreciate the Republicans who crossed over to work with us. Most House and Senate Republicans and state legislative Republicans, they don't want to be dwelling on why they said no to $35 a month caps on insulin or any of the other.
I just want to point out that this was a common thing. Biden's White House actually did a really cool job of dunking on Republicans that took credit for the Biden infrastructure bill that they voted against. Boebert was one of them. Lauren Boebert tried to put America's infrastructure on blast, and Twitter came with receipts after the MAGA rep called out a series of transportation incidents caused by accidents and tried to blame it on Democrats. Her hypocrisy was put on full display. I'm sorry, this was hypocrisy in another way. Colorado Republican Representative Lauren Boebert's recent complaint about America's failing infrastructure bombed after she was fact-checked by social media users. The gun-toting conspiracy theorist griped about recent transportation disasters around the country, including Wednesday's non-fatal Amtrak collision with a vehicle on a train track in Southern California and a partial highway collapse. But her grumbling went nowhere fast when she was reminded she voted against Democratic President Joe Biden's infrastructure investment, the Jobs Act in 2021, that would provide federal funding to improve infrastructure around the country. You voted against the infrastructure bill. So many Republicans were fact-checked on that. Several took credit. Like, I claimed... Boebert took credit, but apparently she did not. Tommy Tuberville, however, did. He touted broadband funds that he voted against. President Joe Biden trolled Senator Tommy Tuberville on Wednesday for touting the arrival of federal funds to his state from a bill he voted against. See you at the groundbreaking, Biden tweeted at Tuberville after the senator praised the news that Alabama was set to receive $1.4 billion to improve broadband access across the state. The funds are from the $555 billion infrastructure bill Biden campaigned for and signed into law in November of 2021. Tuberville was one of the 30 Republican senators to vote against the legislation, but he praised the arrival of the funds on social media this week. Because that's the kind of shit they do. Fucking hypocrites. We brought up DeSantis and his attack on Trump. Trump protested on his way to a Moms for Liberty event. Donald Trump bombarded by protesters screaming, "Lock him up." Oh, the poor baby. Let's see what we got here. Lock him up indeed. Lock him up indeed. According to clips tweeted from the event, the crowd yelled, "Lock him up." However, the protesters were not only there to object to the Republican politician, they also screamed in opposition of Moms for Liberty, a group that was labeled an extremist organization by the Southern Poverty Law Center. According to the SPLC, Moms for Liberty and its nationwide chapters combat what they consider the woke indoctrination
up yours, woke moralists.
Of children
We'll see
by
who
advocating for
cancels
book bans in school libraries and endorsing candidates for public office that align with the group's views. They also use their multiple social media platforms to target teachers and school officials, advocate for the abolition of the Department of Education, advance a conspiracy propaganda, and spread hateful imagery and rhetoric against the LGBTQ community. So they also got shouted down by protesters.
These hoes for Hitler got to go, hey, hey. Ho, ho. These hoes for Hitler got to go, hey, hey. Ho, ho. These hoes for Hitler got to go.
You are supporting a hate group.
This is so cute. I've got two chins.
A nationally identified hate group. And that's who you're supporting tonight.
Girl on a date. Philadelphia belongs to our youth, our children over there.
They are chanting, "These hoes for Hitler have got to go." Moms for Liberty chapter apologizes for quoting Hitler in a newsletter. They're awfully cozy with the white supremacist group, the Proud Boys. You can see 172 miles per hour is trending. We're going to get there. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're gonna talk about Trump just a little bit more. His stop at the Moms for Liberty event was one of many. Oh God, this is an hour-long campaign stop. I didn't mean to do this. Let me see if I can find a better video here. Give me old Trumpy boy from over the weekend.
Has finally started to admit what we all knew. Joe Biden is the most corrupt president in American history.
Come
by
on,
far.
man.
It's not even close. He's a criminal.
The most corrupt president in American history just accused somebody else of being the most corrupt president in American history. Do believe he was getting ready to call him a criminal. We have watched this man be arraigned twice in as many months, and he's calling Joe Biden a criminal.
Come on, man.
And then the right-wingers are like, we're living in 1984. Buddy, yeah, we certainly are. Yep. It is definitely an upside down fucking world. Black is white, up is down. Holy fucking shit, dude.
And a liar who gives office to foreign countries and many other people. You take a look at what's going on. All of the stuff goes into the stuff he calls it, goes into family pockets. And it comes from many cases very bad third world actors, and nobody thought they were going to get caught with all of their phony corporations that they set up. The only problem is those people don't like to report on it, but they're actually having to start. It's very interesting. I'm just not sure I want to run against anybody else. I sort of like this one. And by the way, we're leading him by a lot. But just think of the massive Biden corruption unveiled in the past few weeks alone.
Astounded.
Representatives James Comer and Jim Jordan, who are doing a fantastic job, by the way. At least 9 Biden family members were paid vast sums of money through 20 different shell companies.
A judge has ruled that a lawsuit involving Jim Jordan and his cover-up and sexual abuse of students at Ohio State University can proceed. Speaking of criminals,
for no legitimate reason at all. They can't figure it out. While Crooked Joe was vice president, he was using that as a cash machine. In addition, we learned the FBI has explosive evidence that Joe Biden took bribes from Ukraine, yet the corrupt FBI, it's out of control, not only covered it up, they stayed silent while crazy Nancy Pelosi, little Adam Schiff, how about that beauty, little Adam Schiff.
this ain't fun this time.
Impeached me, they impeached me. But that was just the beginning, because they also indicted me a couple of years later.
Like, this was fun in 2016. I had a lot of fun with Trump in 2016. It ain't fun this time. It's long wore out its welcome. I ain't laughing anymore.
For asking questions about the Biden bribery scam. Just happened to ask. It turned out I was right. This is a sick nest of people that needs to be cleaned out, and cleaned out immediately. Turned out I was right. It turned out I was right. I had to go through 2 impeachments, and I was right on both of them, and it's been proven, and especially with the laptop from hell, it's been proven. It's been right there, right in front of their eyes. Last week, an IRS whistleblower revealed that Crooked Joe sat in a room while his son Hunter messaged a Chinese Communist Party top official, and he said, I quote, "I am sitting here with my father, Sleepy Joe.
Come on, man.
And we would like to," and by the way, he may not be as sleepy as we thought, based on all this stuff. "And we would like to understand, with the commitment made, what has happened? Why has it not been fulfilled? Why haven't you sent us the money? Tell the director that I would like to resolve this right now before it gets out of hand, and now means tonight." I didn't know he was a tough guy. They are with our money. They're not with...
By the way, he butchered it. I've seen the text message in question.
And if I get a call or text from anyone involved in this other than you, Zhang, top person, or the chairman, I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me, that's Dad. Hi, Dad. Remember, he said he was the smartest person.
Come on, man.
Met. By the way, at some time does Joe Biden say, this son thing's just not working out very well? At some point, but it won't matter if the press doesn't catch it. Remember that. But the man sitting next to me and every person he knows, you will regret not following my rejection and direction. I'm sitting here waiting for the call, and he says he wants it right now. I'm sitting waiting for the call with my father. Within 10 days, the Bidens collected $5.1 million from China for no reason whatsoever. They didn't do anything. Once again, Trump was right. Trump was right. They have these hats. Trump was right about everything. I don't know about everything, but we were right about a lot, Marjorie, right? A lot.
Marjorie?
Joe Biden is corrupt, and Joe Biden is a very compromised president.
I'm still calling it. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene
Criminal gets paid off.
is his running mate.
More sophisticated manner and much larger numbers.
If he makes it that
But
far.
he's totally protected by the Department of Injustice and by the fake news media.
We're a long way.
To a degree, we have never.
We are a long way. It's Trump, so he could do something very unorthodox. We're a long way from a naming of a vice presidential candidate. That is usually something that would happen around this time next year. After the primaries are over, you'll be in the dead of summer. It's a good way to get a week of the news cycle. And you want to have your vice presidential pick in place going into the convention, which will be in the August-September time period. So usually your vice presidential pick would come about this time next year. So a lot can happen with Trump and him not even being in the race come this time next year, but he could try to go ahead and pick a vice presidential candidate as a way to bolster his support, and I absolutely believe it's going to be Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Never ever seen before. This is a crime 100 times bigger than Watergate, and they just don't want to write about it. When I get back in office, I will appoint a real special prosecutor to investigate every detail of the Biden crime family of corruption. So incredible. And again, out of respect for the office of president, I would never be talking this way, even knowing a lot of this stuff.
He doesn't have respect.
Much respect for the office.
Oh my God!
What they did to me and to you by doing what they did. So
Sign up for this
I said,
shit.
now the gloves are off from that standpoint. What they've done is so terrible. So I'll speak differently than I would have 3 weeks ago. Because you never heard me use this kind of language. I wouldn't want to, out of respect for our country and for the office, but we really have no choice. These people are sick. They're sick people.
Wow. Total projection. You heard him sling some accusations at the Biden crime family, as he likes to call them. We do have some new info here. Hunter Biden was filmed himself smoking crack behind the wheel, driving at 172 miles per hour on the way to Vegas, and we apparently have photos. Hunter Biden apparently filmed himself smoking crack behind the wheel of a car in 2018. The same year, he took a picture of himself driving 172 miles per hour in a Porsche, according to thousands of newly uploaded photos from the first son's abandoned laptop. So the photos were uploaded by Marco Polo, a nonprofit firm headed by Donald Trump aide Garrett Ziegler. We're going to Biden laptop. Probably shouldn't even do this. There might be oh, well, look at him. Those are really good pictures of Joe. That could be a butt cheek. I'm not clicking on it. Apparently he took some pictures of his teeth. That is a dick. That is a butt cheek. Oh, we have Hunter Biden Schlong, guys. Oh my God. We've talked about it for so fucking long.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Wow, we hit the mother lode. So the reason you would take that picture is to put it on a grinder. That's why you would take that picture. Because if you like, if you're going to get, is that Hunter in drag? I think that's one of his friends. Maybe that's his... Is that one of the prostitutes? Is that his brother's wife? There's definitely some interesting photos here. But also, I feel very wrong. Oh, that's just pimp. I mean, who wouldn't want to party with fucking Hunter Biden? Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Look at that scarf. That's grade A. I can't believe we got Hunter's dick. There's another one. He must have a nice dick. He likes taking pictures of it. He was getting some head, getting some head. Well, I like that this website already had them censored for me. I appreciate it very much. God damn, there's thousands of fucking Hunter Biden pictures that we should have never seen. These are private. I feel dirty. Like, that's really fucking sexy, but that's borderline revenge porn. Like, I shouldn't be seeing this. I feel very icky about all of this. He's got a lot of explicit pictures, which I'm not one to judge.
You live in sexual anarchy.
And all that. Don't have that many of myself, but I'm going through a man's private fucking photos. This is wrong of me. This is totally wrong of me. And it is wrong that this has been leaked. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for the Biden family. There's a lot of shit to pick on Joe Biden over, and like this gossipy nonsense. Fucked up. Sorry. Seriously, I'm gonna have to go take a shower or something. I'm really sorry. Patrick Bet David. I had never heard of this guy until Sam Cedar went on his show. Now I get fucking ads. I get suggestions for his videos all the time. I watched him with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he was a dumb fuck. Really not into this. But apparently he thinks that Elon Musk is going to be the world's first trillionaire.
There's an audience that's worried about what's going to happen with YouTube. Okay. But Rumble is winning because of what YouTube is doing. It's a badge of honor right now for some people to...
Is Rumble winning? What is Rumble winning?
Say, I got kicked out of YouTube. I don't think that's a strategy, but I don't think that's a good strategy. But I don't know why people are doing it. YouTube gave me a 6 strikes. Screw these guys. I will never use YouTube again. Brother, go look at history. Just 13 years ago or 12 years ago, a competitor came to YouTube. One of the guys in the marketplace took a bunch of YouTubers off. They went all to the other platform. It lasted for a few years, and then it flopped, and then everybody came begging back at YouTube. So you got to be pumping your brakes a little bit. Now, having said that, I hope Rumble makes it, and I hope they kill it, because they're very necessary to keep YouTube worried.
Honest, yeah.
The more Rumble gets bigger, the better it is for YouTube creators.
Yep.
My hope is Rumble becomes a 20, 40, $100 billion company. Go light it up. But what I think will happen before they become a $100 billion company, Musk will buy Rumble. Either he will buy Rumble. I think Sachs sits on the board of Rumble now or something like that. An announcement was made this week. So it's a very interesting. Sachs is the most trusted guy to Musk. Thiel is also involved with Rumble. Thiel, Sachs, Musk all go back to the PayPal mafia. They could come up and scoop up Rumble and say, hey, can you fix all these things, Sachs, before we buy it? Yeah, okay, here's $5 billion. Come to us. We're going to put it under Twitter, and we're going to use the technology the way we want it, because now Sachs is in there to give us ideas. Then they're going to control communication, WeChat model that's in Asia. Then they're going to pay talent more than anybody else is paying them with the subscription model. They're going to do so many different things. Who is the #1 customer service representative?
All of that is 100% bullshit. This is fucking hilarious. This dude's an idiot.
In America today. It's a guy named Elon Musk. He's worth $200 billion. He reads what people say. You can't get any Fortune 500 CEO to come out there and talk to its customers. Come on, they're locked up in the 80th floor all the way to the top, and they don't go around talking to people. This guy's like, okay, let us look at. Good point. We'll work on that. It's not a bad idea. Let us look into it. So, what do you mean by this? This is a revolutionary type of guy. Musk is. He'll be the first trillionaire in America. I think it's going to take 3 to 7 years.
Wow.
But depending on what happens to the economy, could happen 3 years. I think in 7 years, that guy's the first trillionaire.
How much money has he lost this year?
Responding to people in that way?
No, not to
How
him.
long should he do it for?
You have to know, if you're as curious as he is, you know people who are using your product know more about the product than you do. You only have one lens, okay? You have to get other lenses that show your blind spots. Like even right here, right? Okay. You know, he's doing what he's doing, but that guy's going to say, look at the camera this way. Move that. Can you see that? The logos that we're not getting sponsored. How about this? Musk has that.
Do you know what it is?
It's very, very unique.
It's like Conor McGregor saying that he's going to fight again.
No, he doesn't.
Who knows if he's going to fight again? But the fact that his name is in the conversation is good for the alcohol brand he has. It's good for the entertainment brand he has. Good for the management company, because his brand is wrapped around him as a fighter, not him as a retired fighter. Elon answering 5 tweets a day is just a reminder, yo, I'm listening. I'm here.
So he's saying that he's listening to the users. He's doing what the users want. Now this is a newer clip. I just got this. This is posted on June 20th. So it's less than 2 weeks old, but it was before Musk limits the number of posts Twitter users can view per day, which seems to be the exact opposite of what everybody on the platform wanted. Before Musk unveiled Twitter's new policy, users were met with a message reading, "Rate limit exceeded," when trying to view content. Twitter users will face new limitations on the number of tweets they can view per day, because that's exactly what you want to do with a social media site, is limit how much a user can use it. Twitter users will face new limitations on the number of tweets they can view per day, according to a tweet from the company's billionaire owner Elon Musk on Saturday. To address extreme levels of data scraping and system manipulation, we've applied the following temporary limits, Musk tweeted, before announcing that verified accounts would be limited to reading 6,000 posts per day, unverified accounts to 600 posts per day, and new unverified accounts to 300 posts per day. I do want to point out that someone believes that Twitter is, someone that knows more about this shit than I do, believes that Twitter is actually launching a self-DDoS attack on its platform. Though Elon Musk has explained that rate limits for Twitter are likely the reason behind some users being unable to access the platform, others have speculated that recent changes to how tweets can be viewed have resulted in Twitter self-DDoSing by overloading its server with requests. So, Sheldon Chang says, this is hilarious. It appears that Twitter is DDoSing itself. The Twitter home feed has been down for most of this morning, even though nothing loads. The Twitter website never stops trying and trying. In the first video, notice the error message that I'm being rate limited. Then notice the jiggling scroll bar on the right. The second video shows why it's jiggling. Twitter is firing off about 10 requests a second to itself to try and fetch content that never arrives, because Elon's latest genius invention is to block people from being able to read Twitter without logging in. This likely created some hellish conditions that the engineers never envisioned, and so we get this comedy of errors resulting in the most epic of self-owns, the self-DDoS. I know nothing about coding. I don't know how true that is. I know that Smokey's here. Say, hey, buddy. He's been very clingy today. He's been all over me. Are you guys excited for the big fight? We've been in a back and forth of will they, won't they, with Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg talking shit on social media with each other about having a fight. Apparently, Elon Musk, his mom, May Musk, has stepped in and said the fight won't happen. Just a couple days ago on Timcast, Tim Pool had this to say.
Oh boy, I hope you're ready for the fight of the century. This will be probably the greatest MMA match ever in recorded history. Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg. Apparently it's on, although Elon Musk's mom is not too happy about it. Ladies and gentlemen, the image on your screen, for those watching on YouTube, is Elon Musk pinning Lex Fridman. That's right. Elon showed up to the mat and beat the crap. No, I'm just kidding. He was doing a training session with Lex Fridman, and Fridman also posted a training video with Mark Zuckerberg. Now, I have questions.
Beanie time.
My friends.
Beanie bitches.
There's no video, my understanding, of Elon Musk fighting with Fridman, but there is video of Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg actually is training in jiu-jitsu. So I have to wonder, was Elon actually, was he actually sparring with Lex Fridman, or was it a very, very preliminary, basic kind of training session in that Mark Zuckerberg's got some moves you can film because he's actually been in some competitions, and Elon Musk, I'm going to lean towards probably does not. So he probably did a few basic moves as part of the training. I'm not so convinced that there was more action, as it were. The question is, who's going to win the fight? I don't know. Technique versus size. Elon Musk is a bigger dude, weighs a lot more. Mark Zuckerberg's a smaller dude, but he's got some more training. It's going to be hard to know for sure. Here's the story from the Daily Mail. It's on. Elon Musk shows off his throwdown technique in epic sparring session with Lex Fridman, who lauded his strength and power as Twitter CEO gears up for $1 billion Vegas cage fight with rival Mark Zuckerberg. Dude, Elon, amazing. Mark, incredible. This will be the coolest thing either of them, this will be the coolest thing Mark Zuckerberg ever does. Elon Musk is building a starship, so it's...
I left you all alone with Tim Pool.
Cool too.
It was horrible of me.
In terms of engaging in the cultural space, this is the coolest thing ever. I'm super excited for this. Yeah, let's read. Elon Musk has shown off his sparring skills during an epic training session with Lex Fridman as he gears up for a $1 billion Vegas cage fight with rival Mark Zuckerberg. Tesla and SpaceX founder Musk, 51, demonstrated strength, power, and skill in fighting abilities, according to Fridman, 39, who holds a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Podcaster Fridman shared photos of the training session on Tuesday, with
I
Musk.
gotta admit, I'm curious.
The Facebook founder.
I might watch it.
Besides, however, having also trained with Zuckerberg in a video posted online. I'm pretty sure. So in the video, Zuckerberg actually has some moves. I don't think he posted any videos of Elon Musk because I didn't find them. Friedman tweeted that after his training session with Musk on Tuesday, I did an impromptu training session with Elon Musk for a few hours yesterday. I'm extremely impressed with his strength, power, and skill on the feet and on the ground. And I got to say, too, the photos.
For Beanie Brothers.
Like, Elon actually doesn't look that bad. He's 51. He doesn't seem like...
Oh, God, yes, DJ Dub.
Actually, it's just a photo, but you can see there's some tension going on. They actually are pulling off some moves, so fairly impressed.
Boy, what does Tim know?
I kind of lean towards Zuckerberg in terms of the skill department, but size does matter. Let's read more. It was epic. It's really inspiring to see Elon Musk and Mark doing martial arts, but I think the world is served far better if they train martial arts but not fight in the cage. That said, as Elon says, the most entertaining outcome is the most likely. I'm there for them no matter what. Musk replied to Friedman saying, that was fun. Meanwhile, Zuckerberg is yet to respond.
That was fun.
On social media. The prospect of a scrap between two of the world's most famous tech entrepreneurs arose last week when Musk challenged...
Oh, God, there's fucking 7 more minutes of this. I can't do it. You're right. Tim is indeed upset about Emma not checking out the skate park. That's why I can't do 7 more minutes of Tim, because there's like 4 more minutes of Tim after it. I got this as like a sponsored ad on Facebook. That is how upset Tim is about getting his ass handed to him by Emma Vigeland of the Majority Report.
Emma is not she's like, her head is so empty. And that, like, the whole point of her coming here was to get...
What up, Woman in Flame?
Same thing goes for, like, the whole Minority Report or whatever.
Majority Report.
They're just looking to dunk on Tim Pool. She came here hoping to get some kind of way to dunk on Tim Pool.
So now, that's what you want to call it, yeah.
That know theory and actually believe it's good to have intergenerational relationships. People like Herbert Marcuse and Gail Rubin, I think is her name, and the people that write queer theory books. You're totally right. Emma's not one of them. Emma is a useful idiot. That's why she was like screaming.
My friend, Emma is no idiot.
Trans women in women's sports, because even if it hurts,
I don't even know.
You're saying Emma Vigeland's advocacy for pedophilia isn't that she herself is a pedophile.
What?
She stands opposed to like institutions, laws, and
anything on the right. Anything that comes out of your mouth, she's going to oppose. She had no idea.
I will say this. The reason why I can agree with that is, for one, I don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt because I think they know exactly what they're talking about. But for her, maybe, she did this thing where after the show, she claimed she wasn't cool enough to see the skate park. It's the weirdest thing in the world because I said earlier, maybe when she pulled up and parked, she didn't notice she was in a skate park. Because the front of the property is the skate park.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe they pulled up into the far space and just walked.
Once again, I want to point out that he clipped this from his show and paid. This was a paid sponsorship that I got on Facebook. On June 27th. This was long after, like, it was like a week after she was on there.
Right in the green room door, and she didn't notice because she didn't look anywhere. Then I found out from staff she was actually right in the middle of it. She was standing in the middle of the skate park. There's ramps everywhere. There's rails and ledges. You can see everything. There's like a big speaker for music.
She didn't want to play with his toys.
To see the skate park, and I'm like, that's a really weird thing to lie about.
You will literally trip over the grinding rail that is right at the front of the house if you're not careful. You will fall over that.
She was talking about the other skate park, the downstairs one. That's what I think it was anyway.
There's like 5 here.
Dude, The downstairs is a mini ramp, not a skate park. She was the skate park is the barn, and there's a massive 24-foot long vert wall. It's an 8-foot vert, 8-foot wide vert, and then there's a 20-foot.
This is such a pick me bitch.
4-foot section. You park right in front of it, and you're surrounded by ramps. It's a weird thing to lie about. She could have said,
cool.
Well, I didn't get to see the skate park. I didn't get to see their ramp, though.
I could see how it might not look like a skate park because there's a bunch of cars parked all around it because it's a parking lot as well. It doubles as a parking lot.
Dude,
so she might not have realized she was in one.
You're so kind.
Yeah, she literally, so she was offered a tour, sushi, and poker with the boys. When the show wrapped, I said, we're all going to hang out. We have sushi that's here, bubble tea, cheeseburgers. We put on some music. We at the table. We play a micro stakes poker game, basically poker for fun, not for money. And we can show you around. He goes, no, I can't. I've got to run. And I'm like, okay, cool. Thanks for coming. And what does she do? They wouldn't show me anything.
Well, she called Sam, and they were joking. I mean, she's pretty clear, like, Tim, this is like high school drama. But I think
it is like high school drama.
So that way she could slime the people here.
Yeah,
it wasn't like a ha-ha Tim. It wasn't a good-natured joke. It wasn't because she wanted to be humorous and be fun. It was a way to slime Tim and her experience here, even though Tim was polite, kind, and
this
nice
is exactly what Sam Cedar did.
Exactly.
When we invited him on the show, I said, I know exactly what he's going to do. It's low-tier WWE political garbage. And if I invite him on the show, they do this thing where all of a sudden, abruptly, they'll say something in a non sequitur, and you're confused by what they're saying because she had it on her computer. My understanding is that she was being told what to say.
Apparently, he was really upset that she had a computer.
She had a list of things like written out.
Because of your point that she's like just vacuous.
Yeah,
that's an assumption, man. She's a journalist. She reads like 50 pages a day before she works.
Yeah. Look at what happened with Steven Crowder and Sam Cedar, right? Steven Crowder was going to have a conversation with Ethan Klein, and then Sam barges in and then starts just...
Whoa, that's not... No. That's not at all what happened.
We can have her on the show, and I said it would be with another person to discuss ideas, so we got Sean Fitzgerald.
See, this is so disingenuous of Tim, because Ethan, 100%, multiple times said... I'm not good at debate. Let me bring on Sam Cedar. And Steven Crowder wouldn't do it. Ethan tried to be like a moderator because he doesn't know politics. That's the way I understand it. I don't watch that shit. Yeah, I don't know. I know he does the show with Hassan and shit. I don't really watch other YouTubers. I watch a lot of video essays on YouTube. Oh, does he talk about politics all the time? Did he talk about politics before the whole Sam Cedar shit? He was just chicken shit? Well, perhaps I only know it from the Sam Cedar side. I'd have no idea who Ethan Klein is if it wasn't for Sam Cedar. I don't know who any of these people are. Fuck Tim Pool. Fuck. Speaking of Steven Crowder, he had Roseanne on, and it probably wasn't funny.
Sit here and be a good girl. I simply will not. I was given the gift of writing a damn good joke, and I don't care if you think it's funny or not. It was hilarious. All my jokes are hilarious. I'm up here in the penthouse of thought.
Is she talking about the Jew joke? Because I really don't want to play that. To summarize, so because apparently the original video has been taken down from YouTube. So she was on with Theo Vaughn or whatever. And they said listen to the whole clip. Theo himself was like, listen to the whole clip. She was being sarcastic. And I listened to the whole clip and I'm like, I don't think that makes it sound any better. So, like, she made a joke about, like, Holocaust denial. And I could see her being sarcastic about it, but I don't understand what point she was making if she was sarcastic about it. It's really weird. It's really weird. But a lot of people have condemned her over those comments.
Damn good joke, and I don't care if you think it's funny or not. It was hilarious. All my jokes are hilarious. I'm up here in the penthouse of thought. I can write a 4D joke. Fuck you. I will not go quietly. I will not sit here and be a good girl. I simply will not. I was given the gift of writing a damn good joke, and I don't care if you think it's funny or not. It was hilarious.
Oh, she this is basically her Jordan Peterson moment.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
I loved Roseanne. I used to watch Roseanne all the time when I was a kid. I got excited when it came back on. I've watched the Connors. Like I'm a little behind on like this season. I haven't watched since they came back from like. Well, I guess they're not on. It's like if they had enough episodes before the strike, they probably broke for the season already. But I did not watch the second half of the season. But I've like kept up with the Connors. So, you know, I was a Roseanne fan. I'm a real big sitcom fan, but like, yeah, Roseanne, she a little wild. You deserve some like wholesomeness. Something I don't have to hit the content warning for, where I don't have to like mention anti-Semitic tropes or anything like that. So here's Sheryl Crow on roller skates with an accordion at Bonnaroo.
This is Bonnaroo. All I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one.
That'd be so fucking cool.
Gonna soak up the sun. I'm gonna tell everyone to lie down.
Oh, you think it's sad?
Every time I feel lame, I'm
She's having fun out at the farm. This is cool.
till the sun comes up over Santa Monica Boulevard. Every time I turn around, I'm
I mean, I could understand that, like, most of the kids that are there have no idea who the fuck Sheryl Crow is.
God knowing his name. 'Cause every time I feel lame, I'm looking.
But that's why, like, she's able to go out and have fun and not be, like, you know, bombarded with people. Yeah, I doubt that dude even know who he was talking to. No, I thought it was neat. She's just out with the people enjoying the farm. Bonnaroo is special. The farm in Manchester, it's special. You know what else is special? This video of an opossum shoving a skunk into a pond won a trail cam contest back in 2020. What a dickhead! I hope they friendly. I hope it was just a cute little rib. amongst friends. You've just been a mischievous little opossum. Apparently this is from upstate New York. Pepe Le Pew. There we go. The emotes are working. Yeah, I'm down with opossums, but this one seems like a troublemaker. You gotta keep your eye on this dude. Look at him. He didn't have to do that. Skunk ain't bothering nobody. It wasn't in his way. It was just over there getting him a drink of water. Possum could have marched on by. You see, he stopped. It was premeditated. It was premeditated skunk assault. Smacks him right in the ass. And I don't feel like there's any, like, is the opossum looking at, like, I'm trying to get inside an animal brain. Is he trying to protect himself against the skunk? He needed a bath because he smelled bad. Or was he just he's a little prankster opossum? He's a little prankster opossum. Just wanting, he's spreading a little mischief on the trails. Oh, what an asshole. All right, go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm JustinFREAKIN. Gonna be here with you all week, including on 4th of July. Make some fireworks together. See you tomorrow night.